What is up, my fellow creepers, and welcome back to another episode of Creature of the Night. I'm your host, Toxin. Today we will be discussing Cabin in the Woods.
Send those things here to get us.
We gotta get out of here.
Oh my god, what is this place?
The Cabin in the Woods.
Mr. Jew, Goddard. Again, guys, bad with fucking names. I apologize. Written by Jess Whedon, and starring Chris Hemsworth, actually. Okay. Toxin's opinion here. Yeah. Okay, so I remember seeing the trailer for this movie, and it came out in 2011. I remember seeing the trailer, and I actually kind of had high hopes for it. It looked very interesting. And I never got around to seeing it, and I saw it the other day finally. Yeah, yeah. It had potential. I see what they're trying to do with the with history and how the world started and what was here before we were and how we had to satisfy the gods and stuff like that. Think they could have done it a different way. They trapped these four or five kids, the athlete, the brain, the slut, the innocent one, and then the fool, the partier, and they had to sacrifice them one by one and to please the gods, or the gods will come back and destroy us. Plain and simple. Had a good premise. I think they could have done a lot with it. I think they dropped the ball majorly. Chris Hemsworth, I didn't really care for. I really didn't care for anybody in this movie when they died. When they died, I was like, oh, okay. Whatever. Even dying, it was weird. Chris Hemsworth, they had a force field around the campsite, and he tries to jump from one ledge to another, and he hits a force field. He hits the force field and just goes all the way down. Okay. And the slut, okay, so the whole thing with it, too, they go into a basement, and there's like a bunch of old relics down there, and they actually have to choose how they die. Whatever they choose, whatever they summon, that's what's going to come out and kill them. And they choose a zombie inbred farmer people. I forgot their damn names. That's how unimportant it was to me. And they have to kill them, and that's how they kill the slut. She's cut up. Chris Hemsworth hits the force field. The brain is stabbed through the throat. And the fool, you think he's killed by one of them, and it turns out he's the one who's doing the killing. He's actually a lot smarter than he was. And with that, there's these people behind the scenes who are steering this into the right direction to please the gods. And they're literally controlling everything. They have cameras everywhere. They have the force filled up. They're the ones who release the monsters. And they're actually taking bets on which monster is going to get picked this year. It's insane. It was just all laughable. Again, I know I'm open to any kind of comedy, horror comedy, like horror comedy, romantic horror, all this. It's just, but this one, it was just laughable. It was kind of unbelievable. I will say though, the one thing I did like about it was where they kept all the creatures, and they had multiple creatures. That's what I loved. I loved the demons, and they had soul. They had wraiths, they had zombies, they had their interpretation of the creeper, the Cenobites, the creatures from Hellraisers, their versions of it. They had werewolves, they had dinosaurs. They even had, I think, like 2 creatures from Left 4 Dead in there. It was just different. They kind of referenced every old horror movie. Slasher movies, everything. They had a lot of stuff from there. They even had a weird mermaid who, when they ate you, he shot it out this hole in the back of his head. Again, the only thing that was cool was when, they kind of figure everything out. Again, the stoner is actually smarter. They actually drugged up his weed that he was smoking, and it actually made him smarter instead of dumber with what they thought it was that was their intention. And he figures out, hey, there's people controlling us. We got to get down there. And they get cornered in this little cubicle after they get out of the cages of where they're keeping the creatures, and they release all the creatures, and the creatures start tearing up the army that's down there, all the people who work there, everything. And to be honest, that's what kind of like that's where I got interested. Okay, it's cool to see all these creatures released. I'm a big creature horror person. I love it. I'm big fan of werewolves. So yeah, seeing that and seeing them all release and go and hunt down the people and doing what they do best, I thought that was interesting. Other than that, this movie, again, just because I don't like it doesn't mean that y'all won't like it, which is why I'm still on here recommending it. Again, it had potential. It had that old feel of old horror movies with the weird gas station attendant warning people, and then going to the woods. The cabin itself looked like something out of Dead or Alive, and it had potential. I just think they dropped the ball really, really, really bad. It was very, very comedic, more than relying on the creature horror and all the stuff. Even the background story is kind of unclear on why we have to continue this. Why didn't we figure out how to destroy these things? And of course, like once they figure it out, they don't go through with it. They let the ancient ones come back, and that's kind of it. We just see a hand come out of the ground, a gigantic hand, squash where they were at, and that's it. We don't know what happens after that. Probably for the best, because again, I had high hopes for this movie. I don't know, it gets that, and it's barely that. Maybe one thumbs up because of the creatures. Other than that, really didn't care for the film. But again, that's just my opinion. Maybe y'all like it. I know a lot of people were watching it because of Chris Hemsworth comes out in it. Not his best. I'm just saying he's better at Thor. And Extraction that came out, he's better at that. Thinking he's just, But again, it was 2011. Probably took the road because that's all he could get. I don't know. But had high potential for this movie. Go watch it. It is on Hulu. Let me know what you think about it. Maybe y'all liked it. Maybe y'all found something about it that I didn't see. Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, guys. Till then, rock on.